What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I just wanted to break down the build that I'm using before I get into the gameplay, because there's some synergies going on and some stuff that you have to understand. So we've got Tether. This is obviously just a good super in general, and it's really nice with this glaive build. Acrobat's dodge is super important because it allows us to get radiant while we're holding a glaive, because glaives take away your melee ability, so you can't run like something like Facet of Dawn to get radiant. So Acrobat's dodge is really important for the barrier champions. Then we've got triple jump, just whatever melee you want, because again it's triple glaive, so it's going to be eating your melee anyways, so you can't use it. Duskfield grenades, these are really nice for going in on a champion but freezing the other enemies around you so that you're not getting shot at while you're trying to take out the champion. It's not an exact science, it can be kind of difficult, but this really helps. Stylus Executioner, this allows us to get a debuff when we come out of invis with our glaive melee, so that's really strong. And then also anytime we defeat an enemy affected by any elemental debuff, it's going to grant invisibility, which is huge for survivability, obviously. Then Threaded Spectre, just because none of the other ones really made sense. I did run this with Gunpowder Gamble. That can be used, but I think Threaded Spectre is better just for a clone, for a bit more survivability. Facet of Purpose, picking up an Orb of Power grants us Woven Mail because we're running Tether, and that's very strong, especially in the boss room because of all the orbs that come down. This is going to give us 70% DR while our Overshield is active, so very, very good for survivability. Facet of Awakening, rapidly defeating targets with light or darkness damage or super final blows generates an elemental pickup of the matching damage type. So this is nice to make an elemental pickup, such as a Void Breach, which can give us class ability energy to help us get our Acrobat's dodge back. So that's really nice. Plus it also gives 10 to resilience. Facet of Defiance, finishers will make enemies volatile, which is just nice. Facet of Protection, really, really important. It's 15% damage resistance when we're surrounded by enemies, which we often are. And then Facet of Blessing, again, another really important one. Melee final blows start health regeneration while start health regen. While transcendent, melee final blows start health regeneration for you and nearby allies. So this one, again, is really important for survivability. Because, every time we get a glaive melee kill, it will start health regen, but if we take damage, it will interrupt that health regen. Then we just have triple glaive, so chill clip's really important for freezing unstoppable champions. And then we have replenishing Aegis, so we don't really have to reload it very often and can tank a bunch of damage. Forthcoming Deviance, I wish I had reconstruction on this, maybe I'll craft one, but replenishing Aegis again and Chaos Reshaped. So once Chaos Reshape times 2 is up, it's like a 35 or 40% damage boost. So this will just help us to deal a bunch of damage to the barrier champions and stuff. And then Winterbite, obviously for the triple glaive, it's the only one in the heavy slot. And it's actually really, really good for AoE ad clear. And then just Void and Stasis Siphon and Dynamo. When we dodge near enemies, we'll get some super. Void and Stasis Dexterity, just for better handling on our glaives. And if you don't know what Triton Vice does, increases glaive reload speed and melee damage when surrounded. Glaive melee final blows overflow around to the magazine, which is really nice. And then glaive projectile final blows detonate in an explosion, which is also really, really helpful, as you'll see. Then we've got arc resistance and concussive dampener for Lightblade, obviously. And then emergency reinforcement is really, really nice. When your shields become broken, you gain temporary damage reduction. I can't remember what the DR is, but it just helps us survive. Then Stasis and Void Scavenger and 1 recuperation. So this instantly gives us a chunk of health, where this one starts health regen. So if we take damage, it interrupts that, which is kind of too bad. If this gave restoration instead of health regen, this would be so much better for this build, but it doesn't. And then Reaper, just for an easy way to make an orb. Proximity Ward, gain a powerful overshield while performing your finisher. This is pretty important, especially because we got Ghosts to finish on all those Lucent Hive. And then Bomber. So yeah, that's the build. Now I'll get into the gameplay. Before we get into the run, I want to talk about this counterfeit modifier. When defeated, combatants can drop explosives disguised as familiar items. So this is really bad for melee based builds, and probably why I'm not going to beat my head against the wall trying to solo this entire GM with triple glaives. One GM that this build will 100% work on is Birthplace of the Vile. So in a few weeks, I'll probably circle back to that and then have a solo GM with triple glaives, because I really do want to do one. But this one just ain't it, and this counterfeit modifier is so annoying. So I'll show you a death really quickly because of this modifier. But yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. And then anything with barrier champions is not ideal for this build, where with chill clip, overloads and unstoppables are much easier to deal with. Plus you have winter bite, which can cause slow on its melee hits. So yeah. Probably Birthplace of the Vile is the one that I'll actually try to get a solo GM with this build. I'm not saying it can't be done, it's just I don't have the patience to try to get back to the boss room like I did, because it takes a while and I've got a lot of stuff going on this week. And before we get into the run, I am just going to show the modifier that I was talking about in action. So you can see we freeze this guy, we're going to go in, we're doing huge damage with our glaive melees. But you can see those ammo bricks on the floor are not real bricks. And this was pretty early, so I know I could have just avoided it. But yeah, that's literally what killed me. You can see killed by the architects, left you a present. So yeah, it's just really not a good modifier for melee-based builds. And this is obviously completely melee-based. So yeah, I just wanted to point out how annoying it is. So now into the actual run, I'll just speed stuff up a bit. So I like to shoot one winter bite over here, and you can see that fills up my glaive like energy for blocking completely. So that's really handy to do. And now we're invis, and then we melee him, and that's proccing our stylus execution. And then as we go in, you can see with replenishing Aegis, we're proccing lots of chill clip shots, and we're able to move him that quickly because we got the weaken, and then I've got Hail the Storm on. So our freeze shatters deal more damage. And then you can see there, because of chill clip, we're able to proc stylus executioner just on one guy, on one acolyte. So here we freeze everything, and then we do the radiant dodge so that we can break the shield, and then we're going in. So it's pretty dangerous, and things kind of have to line up. You actually have to keep some acolytes up here, otherwise you're not going to be able to get that halberdier's reach. Which gives you, like, I think it's double glaive melee damage. And it works sort of like biotic enhancements on Syntheseps, where you just have to be surrounded by enemies. So here, this barrier knight moves into a decent spot, and luckily I got the revenant knight that just slows. If you get the void one here, it's damn near a run ender, thanks to just this build. So yeah, here I'm just waiting out my acrobat's dodge, just kind of priming that knight. So there, I fuck up big time, but I do get the weaken, which was important. And then you can see I don't have the melee damage buff. So yeah, that was just dumb, but that's what I mean. You're just not going to have enough damage if you if you're not surrounded. So that's one kind of crappy thing with this build, where if you have a team of these, you could have multiple people with the radiant dodge and just beating up on the guy. So it's going to be much easier. But yeah, you have to set your stuff up in a very specific way. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to kill the barrier champs. And that's what's going to make the boss room really hard. The good thing is you can block constantly, but you also run into ammo issues in the boss room, which I'll show. So, yeah, it can just be tough. So here, I just get him to finish her health. And that was a fake brick, so I'm jumping away from it. Now some acolytes have moved over, and I have my dodge. And it's nice because that radiant lasts 10 seconds. Oh yeah, this guy was being really freaking weird. So I barely have radiant up long enough. Like, I have never seen a barrier knight take that long to shield. He doesn't wind up shielding at all. So very weird, but if he had shielded, I would have been able to break it. So that time I just primed him up more with my glaive projectiles. So I'm kind of low on ammo, but yeah, that's how that part works. And then again, I just shoot a winter bite. You can see it's really good for AoE. Takes out that wizard. Also, winter bite is very inconsistent with its projectile damage. I have killed that Lucent Hive on the right in like one shot before. It threw me off because he actually respawned. Because I tethered like I did there, but then I must have got like a direct hit. And then with Hail the Storm, and maybe there was a lot of enemies around, so there was a huge like freeze shatter damage thing going on. But yeah, it absolutely cooked him. And there you can see, even in just 3 shots with a tether, we can take him down quite quickly. And then we go finish the ghost, picking up the orbs. So now I have full void overshield, which is nice for that DR. And then again, we just have to really pick our spots here. So you want the Barrier Knight surrounded, but obviously it can't be too surrounded, and it has to be on the same side as this other Barrier Knight. Otherwise, that other Barrier Knight is just gonna pepper you with its Arc Blast, and you're not gonna be able to get the kill. You'll die. So yeah, this is all about knowing enemy AI and how to manipulate enemies so that you can get them in a position to be able to safely take them out, or relatively safely. Because yeah, obviously it's a very aggro type build. You have to run in on things. So I tried to get the slow. So we proc Radiant. And again, we prime them up lots with our shots. And then the enemies are below me, so that's close enough. And then you can see with that melee damage boost, we were able to take them out really quickly. So here, unfortunately, Transcendence doesn't seem to reload or like give class ability energy back quicker. I wish it did. That would be really nice, especially in this case. So I'm just going to speed this up because it's literally just me waiting around for my Acrobat's dodge. If you can get 100 mobility, get that. Obviously, you need 100 resilience first. So with my build, I think I can get like 80 mobility and 100 resil and like 90 discipline if I spec as much as I can into mobility while still having resilience. So yeah, just how it is. So there's where Threaded Spectre comes in nice. I procced the Radiant. Unfortunately, he moved in an annoying way, so I wasn't able to, he regened some of his health. And then we do beat him up and just take him out in time. So the reason I throw a Duskfield here, so yeah, this was a little dangerous, but luckily he went to my Threaded Spectre, otherwise I would have died. And then I had to rotate because that Acolyte was there. So yeah, he got his health back. But the reason I throw that Duskfield is that's just going to help stack up slow. And when you melee a frozen target, it does that shatter damage. So it just helps us deal more damage. So yeah, Duskfields are really, really good in this build. So even though we didn't have the Halberdier's Reach procced, we were still able to take it out with melees. Now all these enemies spawn, and this guy spawns up top. So we have to run back. And then this is literally just waiting until this guy gets in a good position. So we're going to tether and shoot our Winter Bite, which again does a lot of damage. Yeah, like you can see, it hits pretty hard. So I should have procced Radiant, because he'd probably be dead by now. Oh, you can also block on those grenades, and as long as it hits in front of you and not behind you, you will survive. Same with the shields. I don't know if I block any of the shields on this run, but yeah, you can just face tank those super shields that the Lucent Hive throw. So yeah, glaives are incredibly good. I also did do a run with LFGs where I had this build on, and they were running like normal stuff. And yeah, you can tank the final boss like no problem. You could kind of see it at the start when I was tanking him, when I was shooting him with my chill clip glaive. But yeah, very, very strong. We're going to pop Transcendence for a little bit of extra damage. Yeah, see there? I tank that shield and it does like no damage to me. And then same with this grenade. However, I wasn't thinking it's still going to suppress you. So I lose my Transcendence there, which was kind of a shame. But yeah, at least you got to see just how much these glaives can tank. So I'm starting to get low on ammo. We take out a disciple. There, I got lucky. I don't know how that one missed me. I probably should have died there because I was a little late on the block, but like I said, got lucky. Then chill clip, you're able to shoot it, which slows it. So then when we get the kill, we go invis, which just allows us to get up easier for the Lucent Hive finisher, or the Lucent Ghost or whatever. There, I should have just finished him instead of wasting ammo. And then you can see we got objective complete. So like less than 10 minutes for solo is not bad. I'm just going to speed this part up because it's literally just me running and looking for ammo and stuff. Getting baited by the fake ammo bricks. So now we get to this part. So we proc that to go invis for the weaken. Melee him. Prime him up. And then we're just going to go in with our melees. But again, we almost die there because, again, there's not enough enemies around to proc our exotic perk. I wish it just gave it to you constantly, because like Syntheseps does the same thing, but it has other benefits. So this would be nice if it just always increased your glaive damage instead of only when enemies are around, but that's just the way it is, I guess. So there we get ammo just from the game. So if you don't know, when you're low on ammo, the game will just grant you ammo so that you have something. You can never be out of ammo on all your weapons, which is kind of nice. And you'll see it come into play before the boss room big time. So here again, we're going to get that kill so we can proc that. Do the dodge to get our radiant. Prime him up. Unfortunately, I don't have Chaos Reshaped going. And then here, I just want to look at this. So there, I'm only doing 85, 87 with this glaive. But when I switch to Winter Bite, I'm doing 12,880. So you always want to be using Winter Bite when you're taking on the champions, because it just straight up hits harder. Now we got some ammo. So there's a trick you can do on these ships where you just sit in it. So there's certain emotes where, yeah, as long as your head's hiding, you're not going to get shot at. So we just do that because this part would be a giant pain in the ass if you couldn't do that. It'd be really long and slow, and you'd have to be very, very careful. So I was just trying to get, ideally, a full clear, but you'll see how I die in the boss room. There, I'm not sure if it's a fake brick. It's actually a real brick, so that's really handy. We're going to tether this guy. And then I think I might forget to finish his ghost. Can't remember. No, I don't. But yeah, tether just like makes him a joke. Then we take out the rest of the enemies. And this guy's over there shooting at me as well. And there you can see we just face tank him. Look at my health. Like it barely moves. Same with these shriekers. They're extremely strong normally. And yeah, we just block it like it's nothing. So we reload all our stuff. We come over here. We're going to pop Transcendence. I forgot about this guy. We get our Dusk Field. Throw the Transcendence Grenade. So this is just helping us save ammo. Take him out. Grab that. So now here, here I actually die on this run. I just wanted to show this run because it was a little quicker in the opener. So there's this thing that the ship does where when you're about halfway through it, it like moves you, which is really annoying because as soon as it moves me, the Shrieker does that little squeal. And I know I'm pretty much fucked because it's seen me at that point. Where on my other run, it moved me, but it moved me at a different spot. So I had enough time to readjust and get back in the thing. So yeah, I will cut over to the other footage I have where I get to the boss room. Right there. So it moves me and you can hear the Shrieker squeal. So then I'm just like, oh, well, I'm basically screwed. Maybe I would have had time to get back into it, but I don't know. And then when I'm taking damage from behind, I die. So I'll just switch clips. All right, so here's my other run. I'm just gonna speed it up to the point where it bumps me again. So I think it's this bridge. Maybe I'm incorrect. No, it's this bridge. So right before, so that wizard is above me, and then the shrieker is there. No, not this bridge. Oh, there it is. So yeah, pretty much the same spot. But for whatever reason, the shrieker didn't squeal. So I had enough time to readjust. But yeah, that part can be really, really dangerous because you only have like a second to readjust. And where you emote is like pretty important. So now we got the thrall part. We're just going to throw down a dusk field. And yeah, that's just going to allow us, like the glaive absolutely wrecks shit here. It's so awesome. Just like one melee, boom, everything's dead. And then again, you got this bullshit counterfeit mod. Blowing up all these ammo bricks. Like I was right there. Why did it not blow up before? So now I have to run in, trigger it. Like I hate that fucking modifier. It's so fucking annoying. It's not bad with a normal loadout, but if you're trying to do something like this, it's just annoying. And I know people say artificial difficulty. Like it's something you have to be aware of. I get that, but it's like it also pigeonholes you in the type of builds that you want to run. And I don't like anything that takes away from player agency. So that's why I don't like it. And like I said, probably why I'm not going to attempt to solo this GM with this build. I mean, obviously I attempted it here and didn't get it, but I'm not going to continue to. Because look, I'm 20 minutes into this run. It takes a long time just to get to the boss room. And the boss room is pretty tricky. So there, I got lucky to not die to the moths. Like this part can be difficult too. But yeah, chill clip's really nice because we can go invis. So that's really helping here. So as long as you have the top half of the magazine filled. And this is another thing that's not ideal. These moths, having to shoot them with a glaive, you're just wasting so much ammo. So again, it's not a very good nightfall for this build. Where Birthplace of the Vile, I'll actually be able to show off how good it is. And yeah, like it's actually going to showcase it in a better environment. This is just not the best for this. You got counterfeit, you got the moths that can like fly up and kill you and that are kind of difficult to shoot. Not that they're difficult to shoot with the projectile, but it's just, it wastes your ammo and glaives are slow to reload. There's way better things for taking out moths. Plus how they delay. Like why can't I shoot them before? You have to wait for them to like start flying. I fucking hate that. Again, maybe it's just because I'm bitter because I'm using all glaives. But yeah, it's just really, really annoying. I should be able to shoot them from afar, not have to wait for them to start flying to shoot them. But anyways, we get through that part. It's not too bad because this build, like I said, you can block a lot of damage. So here we see chill clip in action, but first, of course, we have to deal with these stupid fucking moths. Plus, we have the inrushing ads. But yeah, you can see we take out the ads really easily, just like one shot of a glaive. Like, glaives are so strong, I don't get how people say they're bad. It baffles me. They're so good. So there, I didn't show my artifact mods at the start, but picking up a Void Breach, I've got Served Cold, so it's also going to give me melee energy, which doesn't really help us in this build. But there's also a couple Void mods. So my next Void Shot makes like a weakening blast when I pick up a Void Breach. So that's also helpful. So there you can see we take them out relatively quickly. And look, we have like no ammo. And there I short hop my freaking Duskfield grenade. So sadly I have to waste my Transcendence, which would have been nice to use in the next part. And now the game gives me ammo. So sometimes it's a bit of a delay, but it will give you ammo. But anyways, we take him out, and then we've got more stupid moths to deal with. But again, you have to get in proximity to them before you can shoot them. Like this one. Why can't I just fucking shoot it here? Oh my fucking god, Bungie. Like, Christ, man. That is so stupid that you have to... Oh, and then, yeah, projectiles shoot my Duskfield out of the air. Just so much annoying shit with this Nightfall, in all honesty. But, yeah. There you can see we take out the Stalkers, we get a bit more ammo. reload our super slow reloading glaives. Unfortunately, that's a bait brick. And then it prevents me from getting up on those stalkers. So again, I'm just having to waste projectile ammo, another bait brick. So yeah, here is where we run into like big ammo issues, but the game does give us ammo. But yeah, this part is just quite slow. You basically have no choice. Like in a solo, in a team, yeah, I can run down there and just start going in with my glaive. But here, yeah, you want to use those ogres to help you take out the abomination. And then hopefully the scorn will do some damage to that unstoppable. But I'm just going to speed all this up because it is quite slow. So basically we're just landing our chill clip shots. There, I'm trying to break the thing before the winter bite projectile was going to get to him, but it didn't really work. And then there, it travels too slowly to hit while he's still stunned. So yeah, basically just spamming all my shit. Trying to take the things out. You can see I'm getting ammo back every now and again. There, reconstruction would have been nice on the glaive. Because he would have been dead because I would have got at least one shot off while he was still stunned. Now I've got no ammo. Finally the game gives it back to me. I wasted my radiant dodge. So yeah, this part is just very slow and boring. So look, I'm at 27 minutes. So yeah, again, this is why I just really don't have any desire. Because so much has to go right in this run. Like I said, just enemies lining up while you have the buffs that you need. And then even in boss room to take out those knights, you need the radiant dodge. And if you don't get it, you're just going to be waiting on the dodge. It's just very tedious. But like I said, Birthplace of the Vile will showcase this much better. So luckily the game is granting us ammo. So we just kind of keep... So there we get some shatter damage, which is really, really nice. So now we're just going to pop our Transcendence. We just miss them, of course. Game gives us ammo. And just like that, everything is dead. So now we got the Shriekers to deal with. There we get lots of ammo, which is nice. So now we need the Shriekers to open up. This one did open, so we're just going to go with him. Freeze. Replenishing Aegis coming in clutch there. So now we also have the boss that we're dealing with. So sadly, got to use my winter bite shots because I don't know if the game will grant me it when I have that much heavy. You have to be out of like all your weapons. And then this was super unfortunate because he was like one shot. If I had procced my radiant dodge, I wouldn't have had to shoot another shot. And then we get more ammo right after I shoot that shot. But it is what it is. Here, I'm going to try... So famine is also on. So ammo drops are significantly reduced. So a bad time to be running double special as well. So here we have the boss fight. And where I die is very, very stupid. It was completely my own fault. Because I was like, I wonder if I can tank the Cursed Thrall explosions. Because one thing with glaives, they block damage only in front of you. It's not like a full force shield around you. Oh yeah, and there is counterfeit. So that's a fake brick. And then I start blocking in time. But it still does a bunch of damage to me. But you can see we tank the boss even at that low health. And then he shoots his arc blast as well. So again, that just goes to show you how good glaives are for blocking damage. And then yeah, I'm just getting some hits in on the boss. Just taking my time. But there's all these enemies on the ground, right? So one thing you can do with these Cursed Thrall, and that I should have done, is just you can run by them and they will just explode. But you have to know what you're doing and kind of jump at the right time. Where what I do, and this was just, it was my fault because look, the game just gave me ammo, but I was trying to save ammo for the boss, knowing full well that the game does grant me ammo because it just did it before the boss room. So I don't know what I was thinking here. but I do want to clean up these Cursed Thrall, because if you get running around when like the Barrier Knights are on the ground and stuff, it's very dangerous. So you want to deal with these Cursed Thrall before you get to the point where the Lucent Hive are spawning in and all that. And I don't do that. I'm trying to save ammo. So look, like I'm not even really hurting for ammo. And the Chill Clip Glaive, because it's aggressive, it hits harder than the other one. So it will one-shot those Thrall, where the other one, without Chaos Reshaped procced, it two-shots. So what I should have done was just use my Chill Clip Glaive and taken them all out. But here, I'm like, I wonder if I can tank this. So look at how much damage. You could see I was like blocking the boss's damage, right? With no issue. But these guys, because the damage like is kind of AoE and it goes behind you, it does a lot of damage. And then there's one behind me, as you can see from my mini-map, and it explodes and kills me. So I should have never tested that. I could have easily just taken them out with my Chill Clip Glaive, or even my other glaive, and been fine. But I decided to test that. And the sad thing is, like I said, I was 33 minutes in. I'm just like, well, I'm not going to run it. So anyways, I just wanted to showcase that build because it's really fun. We can finally run triple glaives, which is something I've wanted to do for a long time. And yeah, anyways, I thought I'd just give a little commentary on the build and just show off how strong glaives are. But yeah, that's it for the video. I hope it was helpful and informative. And if it was, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. And I will catch you in the next video. See ya.